Today, we have Tommy Hurston here for an interview. Tommy, how are you?
Not too bad, how are you?
Not too bad. You were recently involved in the making of a short film called The Bridge. What was your experience like?
My experience with The Bridge, it was brilliant, to be honest. It was short, about 2 hours worth of an evening, but in saying that, with regards to the subject matter of The Bridge, I thought I was, get involved in this because there's a lot of people that are affected by that.
The film, a lot of people can relate to.
Oh, definitely, So, and even with regards to my character, the kind of character that, as much as he might want to help, he doesn't quite want to help.
Yeah.
He's got his own stuff going on in his life, and he just kind of sees, other people's stuff as irrelevant to his own, but he's opinionated enough to say this, that, and the other, and you meet people like that in life, that regardless of what you say, they're going to tell you different.
Yeah.
So it was important to kind of get involved with that and tell that side of the story as well, because, I've worked in a call centre, I've rang people that, looking for money, and these people don't have a penny.
Yeah.
And you just sit there, and again, when you're working for a corporation, they don't care. They want it's like blood from a stone.
Yeah.
So it was important to kind of get something out there whereby, even if you only get the message across to one person, that you got to help yourself in these scenarios. Again, it's the line that I think my character says, it's a permanent solution to a temporary problem. It is temporary. It only feels like your world has come to an end because we live in the now.
Is there any embarrassing moments in your career that you'd like to share with us?
You could say that every moment is embarrassing. Well, I think the most embarrassing, and not embarrassing like not a slapstick embarrassing, but more in an acting way embarrassing, was when I was on Vikings. Again, you're being an extra, so you try to get noticed without standing out too much for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
And we were filming this scene whereby I was a Saxon and we were fighting the Vikings, and all the Vikings are running off up the hill, and we have to chase them.
Mm-hmm.
But over in front of the kind of bank of the cameras, where there was a shield maiden crawling along, half dead. And where I was standing, I kind of, as I went to go run after Vikings, I looked at her, nobody around her, and I'm thinking, well, look, if this was real, I'd go over and kill her,
Make it look realistic.
Yeah, exactly, you're not going to just leave her, wandering on the field. You're going to go over.
Kill her.
Yeah, I'm going to go over and kill her because I hate the Vikings. I stalked over, and there she was, and crawling away and screaming and stuff. And I had a spear in my hand, so I kind of stalked over and I stood over her, and I raised the spear like that, and I could just feel the anticipation of all the guys behind the cameras, and it was like they were leaning forward, and this is going to be good. And then I stabbed down and gave it a good, and stabbed down on the camera side of her, and literally so the camera seen that the spear didn't go into her at all, and the assistant director called freeze, so I'm stuck like this with it on the wrong side of her, and I'm just going, I can't believe I just did that, like a total rookie mistake. And he came over to me and he put his 2 hands on my shoulders and he went, next time, stab down on the other side.
What role would you like to do that you haven't done yet?
Roles in few. I think superhero movie.
Yeah.
Definitely a superhero movie. Yeah. It's just one of those kind of movie genres at the moment that, I grew up reading comic books. I grew up watching movies. I've been a fan of both my whole life, and I've never been afraid to admit it.
Yeah.
And I've seemed to have kind of got into acting at a time when the movies and comic books have merged together, because recently enough I went to see Captain America Winter Soldier.
Oh, yeah?
And I have to say it's one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And not just because it's not just a superhero movie. Technically it's not even really a superhero movie. It's more of an espionage or a spy movie. This is literally a movie that's been lifted from the late 70s, early 80s, planked into our time and just given a makeover. Because it's fresh, but when you watch it, you can see what these guys were trying to do back in the 70s now being done here.
Yeah.
You've got the likes of Robert Redford in it as well. It had a serious sense of, the best way to put it is like a James Bond film. What a Sean Connery James Bond film.
Yeah.
It's something that is actually being taken seriously by filmmakers now, because they realise there is a rich vein of stories there. So, and then plus you get to put on a costume and dress.
Exactly. Tommy, thanks for coming in today.
No problem.
Thanks a million.
All right, you're welcome.
Bye.
All right.